afternoon. I guess I'm still sleeping. Say good morning. That don't make me a narcissist. Please don't diagnose me because I made a mistake. Feel me? Today is May 6th. God damn, time is moving. May 6th, 2021. Feel me? Ever since I started talking about this narcissistical behavior, they've been trying any and everything to try to diagnose me. Every little thing is being pointed to. I'm listening to my own videos, just trying to learn about it, and they still try to diagnose me with it. They said narcissistical people try to move. They be like, he moved. Shit crazy. It's like as if people don't move all the time. Like, they try to associate me with any and everything. That's just their guilty conscience talking to them. They just can't accept the fact that I ask one question only. Take a look at my actions and take a look at your actions. Feel me? The truth of the matter, according to the research, we are all narcissistical. Feel me? The difference is that we all have narcissistical behavior. What makes it bad is the intention, whether the intention is good or bad, whether you have sympathy, you know what I mean? And all that kind of stuff. And that's all it is to it. These people don't like most of these things, you feel me? You just gotta admit to yourself, admit to what you do. It's not about me trying to say that this is who you are as a person. I don't care. I just wanted to show people, okay, maybe the reason why you justifying the behavior that you conducting yourself in could be that, hey, you could be narcissist, you could be a sociopath, you could be, it's like, a psychopath. I just wanted to present them with facts. And my whole thing was to look at it from a war point of view. Like, why is it that we as a society have accepted a behavior that is flawed? It's not flawless, it's flawed. You know what I mean? It's detrimental to everybody, including the kids and everything else. It does not benefit anybody to conduct ourselves in this behavior. So I was looking at it from a war point of view. And I came to the conclusion that maybe we are sicker than what we thought we were. You feel me? But a lot of people are taking this shit very personal. It just revealed to me that those who take this personal were those who was conducting in the behavior, you know what I mean? So they feel guilty about what went on, and they refuse to acknowledge these things. So instead of acknowledging something that they have recorded, is well recorded, and things that other people have seen, shit crazy. You know how that shit go, man. Instead of acknowledging this behavior, they will make noise, try to block out the noise. They will do things like this man is doing right here. You know how that shit go. I guess I gotta speak a little louder. Because yesterday when I was out here, the wind was blowing so much that you couldn't even hear nothing. So I appreciate him giving me a reminder to raise my volume up a little more, especially when I'm out here. You feel me? Yesterday it seems like somebody turned the fan on. This shit was like, it was like my words could not mix with the other sound of it. It was just like, narcissistical people always look for the little things in a conversation to amplify their justification for what they're about to do. So they always look for something to justify them. They always look for something to justify them, to justify their act, basically, of something that they want to do. You feel me? It's as if, well, I have a story to tell. It's like growing up in the house, right? and your father was abusing your mother, right? And you had a sibling who was your sibling was a girl, right? And you were a boy. So you watch your father abusing your mother, right? Now, as a child, you gonna grow up thinking it's okay for you to abuse or treat women in that sense. And at the same time, you also go see your mother as somebody that you want to discipline. You feel me? Although she's your mother and you see it as, okay, that's my mother, but you've seen your father abuse her or disrespect her in that format. Now you respect her as your mother, but in another sense, you've created another person to deal with you dealing with her as your mother, and you also create another person in between in yourself to deal with your mother, in which you see it as me discipline her, because in your mind you think I have to discipline her because that's what was shown in front of you. That's the environment that you grew up in. While your sister will feel inferior to thinking I'm a woman since my father, who I love, because she can't separate her father from the person that she despised. So your sister will see your father as somebody as you see your father as somebody that is in high authority, and see her mother, her own mother, as somebody who needs to be abused. So she will self-sabotage herself. She will put herself in position to be abused. You understand what's going on, right? Because this is something that she's seen. She's seen her mother being abused, so she put herself in a position where she feel like I have to be abused. So when she get into relationships, she's gonna go out with somebody who's more of a criminal, them thugs, or somebody who is. She will sense. She will literally. She will grow a sense for this and sense it in people, and she will attract nothing but people who can abuse her. She will even put herself as a prey, a prey, where a predator who like to abuse women will see that in her, and they will easily have drawn themselves to her without her even saying that she like to be abused. She will send off a sense that a predator will know, like a lion will know and smell a prey. Basically, that's what she will grow herself into, because this is something that she's seen consistently, as something that she's seen when she was growing up. Now you have one son who will become the predator, who will be sensing these kind of women when she look for women, and she will also he can separate his mother and everything else. So these are the senses that they grow. And I say that to say this is the same thing that's going on with the man behind me and stuff like that. When it comes to truth seeking and stuff like that, he must have grew up around something in his childhood where when the truth is being spoken, he developed a sense into making enough noise to shut the sense down, because he can't afford to hear or compromise or comprehend what he's hearing. So what he has developed is a mechanism, or whatever they call it, to shut the noise down, to make enough noise so that he doesn't have to hear it no more, because it disturbed his fantasy of peace. It disturbed his infrastructure that he has created within him to cope with something that he couldn't cope with when he was young. You feel me? Just like that little girl, she couldn't cope with her mother being abused. She was helpless in that situation, or that boy was helpless in that situation. So to cope with these things, they had to separate themselves from themselves to create an avatar, a fantasy like world where they can create a character which can cope with this entity. You feel me? That's what's going on right there. That's why he's doing what he do. That's why somebody will put the noise on, beep, 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 and all that shit. Or they can drive by with their car and be like, vroom, like that. It's like a demonic coping mechanism where they've already created this thing within themselves already just to cope with this shit. This shit sound like a crazy movie. It's exciting to talk about because I can't believe niggas went that far just to cope with some form of existence within them so they can get by. You feel me? It's intriguing. It's like whoa, that shit is crazy. And I'm learning as I go along. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I can understand why now. Go ahead. I can understand why now people wanted me to be stuck on the drugs, why people wanted me to be stuck on the alcohol and everything else like that. Because, remind you, it's a coping mechanism, a narcissist that they create, and a different spectrum. A spectrum is just, colors, but a spectrum is in a narcissistical mind, it's a spectrum of individuals that they've created, a spectrum of avatars that they've created to cope with certain part of their life that they couldn't deal with. So let's go back to that little boy and that little girl who couldn't deal with the abuse that was happening in front of them, right? What happens is that in that child's age, they take a snapshot of what went on, right? Now it's a snapshot. It's a picture. A picture represents. Let's say a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? But that picture cannot change, because if that picture change, dang, where the wind coming from? If that picture change, it disrupts the fantasy of the avatar or the spectrum that they've created. Now this is how you defeat a narcissist. Now you have to change. Now if a person take a picture of me, right? Now they've created an avatar of who I am. They don't communicate with me. They only communicate with the avatar that's within their mind, which represents me. Now the fact that I changed who I was, the fact that I'm not on drugs no more, the fact that I don't smoke no more cigarettes, the fact that I'm not drinking anymore, disrupt what that was supposed to me. That was supposed to be me. That picture that they took of me, that snapshot they took in their mind, disrupted. This is why they were so mad at me, because here I am, they're trying to change me into me being a narcissist. Now I'm doing all the right things in my life. I'm taking all the right steps and everything else. Even the fact that I said I wanted to go back to school, the fact that when I was in school and everything else, they put females in my way just so I do not complete it. You feel me? I'm not blaming nobody. It's all on me. God be with me. The alcohol and everything else, the drugs and everything else. The fact that I changed that snapshot of them, that disrupt their fantasy, that disrupt the avatar that they had in place of me. So when that happened, guess what happens? When I did that, they had to get me back into they had to put me back into that sense, because they cannot you disrupting their picture. You disrupting their world. Instead of walking away from me, I was too, what do I call it? I was more like, it's like a blueprint of a world that they've already created. They cannot just easily dispose of me. I'm too important to the world. They can't discard of me. So they have to beat me back into shape. You feel me? They have to like use this is when the bullying come in. This is when the manipulative come in. This is when the flying monkeys come in and everything else like that. So as a person like me, when I move and everything else like that, they're trying to associate me moving to me being a narcissist, because they was trying to paint me into be a narcissist. I'm supposed to take a spot in their world of me being a narcissist. I'm supposed to play that character. Not that I'm not playing that character and I'm deviating for that character and I'm doing things that's not associate me with that character. This is the thing that they aggravate them the most. I got 10 more minutes, so we got a lot of time to talk. This is what aggravate them the most. So when I'm telling my stories and everything else like that, you have people like this guy in the back who has to make these noise to disrupt people from hearing what I got to say. They don't want me to tell my story because they want the public to be under their curse. They want the public to be under their control. You feel me? If I was a narcissist, then why is it that they have to control me? Shouldn't I be the one wanting to control them? You feel me? Every narcissist manipulate. They just find different ways to manipulate. It's either being manipulated through a shy way or manipulated in a strong way. I can give you two figures. You have Donald Trump and you have Barack Obama. Donald Trump, according to the guy, the professor whose name is Sam, according to him, he said Donald Trump is a narcissist, and he also said Barack Obama is a narcissist. But when you look at both of them, they both represent two parties. They both represent two forms of the lavishness of them. Donald Trump is a little more braggadocious. Donald Trump is a little more braggadocious, and you have Obama, who's a little more welcoming, he has a little more sympathy. At least that's what you call. He look like he has sympathy and everything else. But they both represent two types of narcissists, according to him, according to the research that he has done, and according to the way he studied them. God damn, these niggas got it good. There's all kinds of bugs out here. You feel me? So Shit, I went through too many things. I done lost track. I done lost track of. But I'm trying to paint a picture to you how what a narcissist is. A narcissist does not just come in one form or one flavor. They have spectrums of how they represent themselves. So you have a Donald Trump kind of narcissism. That's what he said. And you have a Barack Obama form of narcissist. You feel me? So they're trying to say that I represent one of them. They trying to put me as a narcissist and everything else like that. But if you take a look at me, I am neither or. You feel me? I'm not Donald Trump, or I'm just trying to be myself. I'm a victim of a narcissist. You feel me? I'm a victim of stalking or gang stalking. I'm a victim of being targeted and everything else like that. But I am in the process of overcoming these things. I'm working towards the right direction. And instead of people looking at the evidence of what is actually going on, look at how hard they work just to put me in a position for me to be in. Come on, man. I know y'all want to believe the otherwise, but come on, you can't deny what is being done to me in that sense. You just can't deny these things. You just can't. You can't like you can't erase your history, man. You can't deny the fact that my phone being stalked. You can't deny that. You can't deny the fact that they put people in your life just to manipulate you. You cannot deny that. You can't deny the attacks that is happening on me every day. You cannot deny that. You can't deny the spying. You cannot deny that. You feel me? I know I went through that whole process of not denying. You can't deny that. You just can't deny these. You cannot make this up and make it fit. You just can't. That's what narcissistic people do. They don't have no memory of what they do. So they try to always create new memories. And their mind is real. But I have evidence of the things that's happening to me. I have recordings. I have the bruises and everything else to show for it. You feel me? You can't make this shit up. You just can't make this up. You can't. Like, I didn't get people to listen to me in secrecy for no reason. Nigga, I'm not even seeking out for an audience or trying to manipulate nobody. That's like, oh, you want it? You can have it. You want this? You can have it. Or you can have it. You want my hair? You can have it. You want my shirt? You can have it. You want my bitch? Oh, you can have it. I'm like, I take it, but just leave me alone. You feel me? I just want to stay in a healthy peace of mind. You feel me? Who is taking all these things? Who is trying to strip you of all these things? They don't want to see these things. They don't want you to ask the right questions. They just want to convict me of something that I'm not. I'm not guilty, B. We know the OJ trial. You seen. If it does not fit, you must acquit me. You must acquit me. Like, I am innocent, bro. Like, you cannot put me on trial for something that is not associated with me. Where is your evidence? It's impossible. Like, you can't do these things. You can't diagnose this person and associate that person with me. No, it doesn't work like that. You feel me? It just doesn't. But anyway, I'm just trying to expose these narcissists just by painting a picture, because I'm about to go in right now. I'm about to go, not in, I think, about to, you know what I mean, going into the subject more. I'm literally about to go back to work. I gave you the analogy of the kid, one is a boy, one is a girl, and how they both can interpret both. Even a child, even a girl in the story, that not that I made up, but it do happen. If you look at the statistics, even a girl or the boy can despise his father's action. Now, instead of him dating a woman, he will be dating men. You feel me? And that will, by seeing these things, can also change his sexual view on the world itself. It doesn't just change it doesn't just change the way he look at people. It also changes the way he eats. It changes the way he has sex with people. It changes the way he communicate with others and everything else like that. It will change the girl too, not just the boy. It will change the girls too. And this is how, saying entities are created. This is how psychopaths are even created through that process alone. This is how narcissists are created, not just from abuse itself, just from the lack of communication between men and women, just from the environment, just for the things that they saw, because it shapes the child's understanding. You feel me? The child is looking out into the world for understanding, and the understanding that you gave him was through violence. That's why I always tell people, if you see somebody hitting me, cover your child's eyes or remove them from the situation. Don't add your children into it. You're doing them a dissatisfaction by adding them into the situation, and you teaching them this is how you conduct yourself when this happens to you. which shapes everything about them when they grow up. You feel me? And you'd be like, I don't know what happened. You, of course, you know what happened to, because you did certain things in front of a child that was not time for that child to see. You feel me? It's very, very important what we reveal to these kids, especially in the society. So I can understand that you want to get your victim. I can understand that you hate me and everything else like that. I can understand you want to do these things, but in front of somebody else's child, I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think that's very, very disrespectful. Not just to me, of course, I demand respect, but just to the people who are around for you to do these things. You felt so comfortable in doing these things that you don't realize that you're sick, and you actually, the behavior that you conduct is going to embed in the mind of a child who doesn't know any better but to compute what he sees. He has to add that kind of vision into his thoughts, and that's how he gets to operate within the world itself. You feel me? Most of these young men are looking for a father figure, so the things that they see and watch on TV plays into how they calculate their decisions when they make a decision at a certain age from the person that they seen doing it. If that person look like they're 50, they be like, damn, when I get to 50, this is what I'm going to do. And it plays into the action of that kid's head. It calculates, it plays right into it. We can't be like, oh, that doesn't affect them. Yeah, because you've passed a certain stage. You don't see the things that you're supposed to see no more. They always say kids see ghosts. Maybe they do. We passed that stage. We don't even remember what we saw during that point in time. You feel me? So it's like you have to be mindful of these things when you're doing certain things in front of people. But people don't take other people's feelings. Narcissists lacks sympathy, empathy, and all that bullshit. They're very selfish. You feel me? It's always about them. So they don't take other people's account into the decisions that they make. So they do these things in disregard of everybody else. They want to get their target. You feel me? People send their kids. As a young adult, at a certain age, people are coming to work. You feel me? They don't want to see certain things that's conducting you. People are involving people in other behaviors and everything else. And when somebody stands up, you beating that person for standing up for what is right. What kind of culture you think you're creating by doing these things? You feel me? But when a nigga like me say these things, I get punished for it. Because guess what? You're not supposed to talk like that. How dare you speak on such things like that? You're not, like am I saying something wrong here? Or am I just speaking the truth? You feel me? I don't know how other way to say it. And how can I be the narcissist if I'm the one thinking like this? What am I missing? You feel me? Anyway, I gotta go in. I can't talk to y'all all day. Yep, here's the narcissist noise. Classic narcissist. All right, man.